This is your average chicken launcher. It uses a potion of windburst and harming to launch you high in the sky. It's also extremely laggy, but once you come out of the lag, you will eventually see that it can launch you about 5,000 blocks into the sky. But I found a way to get launched 100,000 blocks in the sky. Do you want to know how? Well, before I tell you how, I just want to say that I have just under 1 million subscribers, so you don't need to subscribe, but
Nope.
if you want to, it's up to you. It's not a personal preference. You can do what you want, really. But what I will say is that I do charge $100 per subscriber, so if you don't have the money, it's too bad, mate, so I'm sorry. For this technique to work, we're going to use the spear. And whilst it's in its charge attack, it will use whatever properties of what you're holding in your main hand. So for example, this mace has Windburst 1, and if I do this to the Warden, as you can see, I'm basically just bouncing on top of it. And despite it doing tons of damage, that's how this technique's going to work. Just to help you understand even more, I'll just practice on these cows. As you can see, I'm just bouncing back up using the Windburst property. So just like the chicken launcher, we're going to be doing damage and then using Windburst to launch ourselves up in the air. Another quick demonstration, I'm just going to use 2 Wardens so you guys can see actually how this works. As you can see, the Windburst one is happening on both Wardens, which boosts me double the height, which is insane. So if I filled this hole with a bunch of Wardens, or entities, then we're going to see what happens. By the way, I call this technique the entity launcher, because it doesn't really matter what entity you're using, as long as it's an entity and it'll work with Windburst 1, then this technique's just fine. About 100 Wardens, let's see what happens. Wow, okay, that's insane. Just under 3,000 blocks. That's pretty high. Okay, I'm just gonna set up this quick apparatus which basically just works a bunch of Wardens on one spot, and we're gonna see how high we can get. Okay, so the game might lag a bit. Oh, yep, that means it's worked. Warden stopped taking damage. Alright. Okay, it's just taking ages now. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. What? 30,000 blocks? This is crazy. Alright, another cool thing you can do is that if you throw Ender Pro and then do this technique, you'll see something interesting. No, I'm not talking about the pro just sinking to the ground. I'm talking about this. Watch closely. Did you see it? Yeah, it basically just kept my gaining of height and reapplied it to when I use my pearl, which is kind of crazy. 2 more things I want to say is that 1, I use Wardens because they just have a bunch of health so that they don't take much damage due to entity cramming. That's why it's really cool, that's why I use them. And for those who are going to say, oh no, do it in survival. Okay, yeah, here I am doing it in survival. I'm just going to use some armor stands, and boom, you can do the exact same thing. You might not get the exact height because your game might lag, or you might not be able to add that many entities, but yeah, it does work in survival, guys. And I know what you're thinking, why not just use armor stands from the beginning? Well, I did. Kind of. They just didn't really work for me. They kind of broke. But sometimes, like in this, it did work. See, I can't use my wind charges. And I was actually really surprised with this test, because I got just under 60k, so I was really happy with this test. And now I'm just going to show you a further clip which I got my highest ever. This sadly didn't hit 100k, but I was super close, and I literally got up to 75k, which is absolutely insane. Actually, no, I just lied. I actually got another test, which this one was even more laggy, and wait, I even forgot how high I got. Oh. 77k? Wow, that's insane. The reason why I couldn't get to 100k is because my laptop kept crashing. So if somebody has a better laptop than me, please post a video of getting to 100k. That would be super cool, and that'll be insane. Alright guys, peace out. See you in the next one. I just want to say, as I was editing this video, I saw that a creator named FunkyJ13 actually created this video about getting to 100,000 blocks, so no worries guys, you can just watch it. Go subscribe to him. Peace out.